Hello, hello, hello! I am Kasasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV, and we are here with Q. You can say hi, Q.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry for the late start. We had tragedy in the fish tank, and I was trying to prevent more tragedy in the fish tank, so only time will tell if I have succeeded. So, but we will move on. We will move on with Final Fantasy stuff and not think about sad stuff. So, before, what?
But I love your title.
Thank you. I knew you would appreciate it. I actually made that title for you. I know it really tickles you. Alright, so I have been making Near Eastern antiques so this woman can pay for her orphanage. Thanks to you, I've got so many Near Eastern treasures that I barely have space for them all. Fortunately, Zol knows some very wealthy individuals who could hardly wait to take them off her hands. I'm happy to say that your Near Eastern treasures have found no end of fans among the Ishgardian aristocracy. Why, with only the funds that have poured in thus far, I can safely say that Memphia's arms will stay welcomely wide open for, well, at least the next couple of days or so. But is Zol going to rest on her laurels? Perish the thought! Not when there are countless children still yearning for warmth and love. I can count on you, can't I, Akali? Oh, thank you. This calls for a celebration. Why, yes, I think I'll treat myself to the last bite of pineapple pudding I've been saving since last week. If anyone deserves it, it's you, Miss Zol. You're always working so hard to put food on our plates. Hello, lady. How are you? This is Akali, a famous adventurer. She's the one who's been helping Miss Zol turn her trading business around. You're an adventurer, Miss Akali? My mummy and daddy are adventurers too. I wish you could meet them. Mummy and Daddy are the strongest adventurers I've ever seen. They're always keeping the people of Idleshire safe from the nasty monsters. Or at least they were. The other day they went off on to hunt something called a leet mark. They said they'd be home by sundown, but I haven't seen them since. Miss Zol says they probably just got lost. Anyway, I was so scared and lonely all by myself, but then I met Miss Zol. She's been so nice to me, just like a big sister. Sometimes she forgets to unlock the door or feed us, but I know that's just because she's busy. Right, Miss Zol? I just met you, Miss Akali, but I like you too. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. My best friend promised she'd tell me a story about dragons, and I just love dragons. See you later, Miss Zol, Miss Akali. That's Tekupi. Just between the two of us, search parties have been scouring the land for any sight of her parents, but nothing. I knew I shouldn't get the poor girl's hopes up, but I simply haven't had the heart to tell her the truth. Besides, Menfinia may still work a miracle yet. The day after her parents disappeared, poor little Tabaki rushed out from her home to the city gates. She waited there day and night in the beating rain and blustery wind, just so she could greet her dear mother and father with a smile the very moment they returned home. When I found her, she was sniffling and shivering in the cold, and that was when my inspiration struck. I would start an orphanage, right here in Idleshire, and take in all the poor children like Tabaki, who were crying out for a gentle helping hand. And that's why I must keep to the task. Menfinia's arms must spread wider and wider, that no child know such pain and loneliness ever again. Is it supper time yet? Zol is pleased with your efforts, and she now considers you a friend to the orphanage. And yet there is still much work to be done before the finances of Menfia's arms are stable. To that end, Zol has a new favor to ask of you. Thanks to you, we're doing better than we were. At least Zol's paying the rent now. But I'm afraid to say Menfinia's arms is still a long way from achieving true financial stability. So Zol got to thinking. Perhaps we've been doing ourselves a disservice by limiting our dealings to the Ishgardian nobility, no matter how wealthy and generous they might be. That's why Zol decided to look the realm over, and look big. I'm talking about consortiums, cooperatives, and conspiracies? Conversations? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I found a promising new client, Master Gurgajru of Gurgajru Shipping. Have you been to his resort at Costa del Sol, Akali? They say the sun shines bright on the waters clear every day of every year. That rhymed, didn't it? Anyway, I had an idea. What sort of rare trinkets and treasures do you think might tickle the fancy of those who live in a world of endless summer? If you're thinking cool and refreshing relics from the bleak, blustery highlands of Kurthis, then I guess great minds think alike. Yes, this is the perfect opportunity to build upon the foundation we've laid. What do you say, Akali? Are you with me? I've already made these. I'm 10 steps ahead. Kurthis Highlands are home to all sorts of treasures, cool, a to star beauty. The wealthy patrons of Costa del Sol are sure to pay a good price for something this exotic and enticing. Now let's take a closer look. Oh yeah, these are not the highest of qualities, but it's the best I can do. Wow, Akali, you've been working your tail off this week, haven't you? Speaking of tails, I really wish the orphan boys would stop pulling mine. Don't they realize how much that hurts? Anyway, I think you've earned yourself a much-needed rest. Don't go too far, though. Zol's counting on you to help Memphia's arms going strong. Okay, so I have to make 3. It is my powerful bunny feet. The big thumpers. Okay, so I would have to do 3 next week. So we'll find the conclusion of... Well, it's not going to be the conclusion. That will take weeks. But with all the scripts I've been getting... all the scripts we've been getting. And slowly but surely, becoming a little fancy lass. Ta-da! Oops. I'm a little Ishgardian noble, yeah? Tragic what I look like right now. So that will help us make, because now that I've gotten fancy clothes on. 587? Ah, beans. 522. Well, we're better than we once were. What is it gonna take? This is the best I can do, Final Fantasy XIV. It's simply the best I can do. Well, we will simply do our best. I will work on making those this week. But now, it's time for gobbies. Where are the gobby quests? Striking Opportunity, keeping up with that. Disarmed, Ebon Aetherflow. Well, that's not it. I do believe we want the quest Disarmed. Miss Q. You should take these. You should start turning in these quests on Red Mage. And we'll do dungeons on our classes. Oh, you don't have anything else to 60, right?
Right.
Okay, then you stay as you are. Snowflake looks more agitated than you have ever seen him.
So stay as warrior?
Hmm?
Should I stay as I am?
Yeah,
Warrior?
you don't have any other classes. I do. I look like the Addams Family chef. Is up Uplander seeing it? Giant of iron rising from river? Y'shtola and Sid have learned to leave to learn more, but are not back yet. Greatest plight of Gobfather. Giant is too big, can squash Idleshire flat. Where are Uplanders? Calm yourself, snowflakes. Akali, 'tis well to see you here, for our need is dire. A colossus of steam and steel has risen from the Thalic. Yet it is no mere forgotten contrivance of Charlian. The resultant aetheric disturbances confirms that it is a primal, and that it was summoned amidst the ruins left for the river to reclaim. For a mercy, it stopped dead no sooner than it had broken the water's surface. But so long as it remains in our realm, it may spring no life again at any moment. Yes, but what does Uplander find near Idleshire? Is wilderness still heavy with aether? Nay, the aether grows perilously thin, and more swiftly than I could have imagined. The primal is bleeding the land dry. Should it be suffered to continue, this entire region will become a barren waste in a matter of moons. No, Gobfather has just found home after long wanderings. Idleshire will not fall. Snowflakes will not allow it. And nor will we. I have already spoken with Elfino, and he concurs that we Scions of the Seventh Dawn must do all in our power to eliminate the threat. Yet given its size, I deem it wise to attack from two fronts. Our first and most obvious recourse is to keep our foe in check with blade and magic, much as we have done with our other adversaries. Second, I propose that we attempt to cut off the flow of aether which sustains it, mayhap by physically separating the primal from the land. If we are able to be rid of this colossus, I think the latter course more promising, and means to enlist Master Matoya's aid in pursuing it. Yet such things take time. Thus I've asked Master Garland to remain here and keep watch over our foe. Given its apparently mechanical nature, his expertise should prove invaluable to you. To you, I say, for I would leave the fate of Idleshire in your hands. Should the primal chance to stir ere my return, you are to join Sid in repelling it. An unavailable task, but one for which you are singularly qualified. Rest assured, I do not mean to linger with Master Matoya any longer than necessary. The moment we find a solution, I shall make haste to rejoin you here. Well then, let us be about our duties. I will leave you to discuss strategies with Sid. Hush! Backtricks is keeper of knowings for Idleshire. Can say where Sid has gone. Uplander should start with Backtricks. I have no idea where that. A big west shortstop. Oh, it's out here. So rainy. Do you have flight paths anywhere in Heavensward yet?
No.
That's sad.
One of them required a dungeon, so I was like, alright.
Oh, I'll do that dungeon with you later. We could do it now, actually. When we get done with this. Backtracks is keeper of knowings and data. What does Uplander wish to learn about? An Uplander comes in search of Sid, yes? My thanks for sharing your knowings, Backtricks. These Illuminati are indeed most hostile. Ah, Kali, old friend. You haven't seen Y'shtola, have you? Drained of all ether in a matter of mere moons. 7 hells! How much power does this thing need? Too much, plainly. Well, it sounds as if we have an urgent dismantling job on our hands. From what Batrix has been telling me, the Illuminati are most likely culprits. They have the knowledge to summon a primal, and the requisite short-sightedness not to think better of it. Fanatical captures their philosophy nicely. I think their goal being nothing less than sole ownership of all world's technology. Needless to say, they're more than willing to kill anyone who stands between them and what they want. Quite how they managed to coax a primal into the hulk of Charlian defense mechanism, I don't know, but it looks like they've made themselves a tiny little fortress inside the Colossus. Only to contend with them if we're to disable the thing. As for the task itself, simply destroying whatever serves as its engine should do the trick, assuming it is in fact mechanical. But before all that, we'll need to find a way in, through yet another bloody barrier. Pish, barrier's not new. Rose up 3 years ago, after ground made shivy shakes. Ruin was freed from riverbed then. Round Rocks was there, saw with own 2 eyes. Round Rocks? Sorry, who is... Daughter of Snowflakes. Round Rocks loves junk more than all other gobbies. Was collecting then, and is playing now. Look. Push shiny junk and sparkly rocks, bibbity bobs and whirly cogs. I'm sorry for interrupting, Round Rocks, but I need to ask you a question. When the ground shook 3 years ago, did something come bobbing up to the river's surface? Bobbing? Nothing bobbed, silly uplander. Ground made shivery shakes when Giant of Whirlycog stood, and then the magic balls came up too. So it wasn't the tremor that freed the Colossus. It was the Colossus which caused the tremor, and you are absolutely certain you saw it rise from the waters, young one? Seven hells. I think someone tried and failed to summon it 3 years ago. Or was it the Illuminati, or... Pish, cush, Bravelax comes to trade tongue flaps, uplander. Just the goblin. Snowfix tells me you've been a resident expert on the Illuminati. Pardon me a moment while I consult my fellow uplander. It's true. Akali, if I may make a suggestion, I'll speak with Bravelax and learn what I can of our opponents. In the meantime, could you investigate the Colossus itself? Biggs and Wedge are near where its hand landed on the shore of the Thalic. Join them and see if you can't find a way inside the machine. Oh, and good luck with that barrier. Here she goes.
Right behind you.
Yes, there has. Yeah, I heard there's a lot of shady stuff going on with World of Warcraft right now, in the Shadowlands development. So I don't know a lot about it, and nobody that I know knows a lot about it, but there's a lot of been, like, grumblings and grumblings. I've actually had a few people come into my streams and ask, like, hey, what's Final Fantasy XIV like, and how does it compare to WoW, and I'm like, if you're looking for a WoW replacement, and you care about WoW for story purposes, it's a good fit. If you liked WoW for PvP purposes, this is not it. But yeah, people are mad about WoW for. Well, that's fair. There's a lot to be discontent about with World of Warcraft. Die da die da die da die. What in the blazes? Pish, Giant of Metal is holding fast to land, and Snowfix is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks to keep eyes on Big Hand. Red Bricks is telling Red Bricks Oh yeah, Final Fantasy XIV was an absolute hot fucking mess. A colleague, come to see the Colossus, eh? The chief has us looking for a way in. Of course, there's a bleeding barrier around the thing. Ay, another one. Lucky for us, when the big feller came down, its hand clamped onto the shore here, punching a hole in its defenses and leaving that round portal there unprotected. Only trouble is it's locked and it doesn't seem to have a key. For want of a better idea, Wedge is listening to Illuminati Link Pearl communications in hopes they'll mention the trick to opening it. Die, da, die, da, da. There's only one signal coming from inside the giant, and it's always the same pattern. I'm certain it's a code. The Illuminati always use code messages. From what I hear, they developed a special kind of crystal specifically for transmuting Link Pearl waveforms. If we could get our hands on one, the chief's decoding machine here should theoretically be able to use it to untangle the meeting. Quite where we'd find such a crystal is another matter. Whoosh, does Uplander know Road Rocks? She makes great collection of junk and things. Maybe is keeping Crystal at shortstop. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck? And it just so happens I've been working on a means of identifying the crystal in question. Here, Collie, take this 3G7001B. Sprinkle that powder over the so-called collection and look for anything that glimmers. It should contain the material we need. You may have to borrow one of Roderick's treasures, but I'm sure she won't mind if you tell her it's for a good cause. Oh, your Butterfinger's mouth. Have you seen it fly yet?
I think it just floats, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it makes little hearts everywhere.
Oh.
It's very cute. God damn, I remember this questline being long.
You say that about a lot of quest lines, so it's probably not that long anymore.
No, they haven't fixed anything in Heavensward.
Oh.
They fixed all the Realm Reborn stuff because that's where a lot of people quit. Bless you.
No,
Amongst
I
the
muted myself. You didn't hear.
You're right, I didn't hear anything. Amongst the jumble of bits and bobs, you spy a faintly glimmering stone. Give me your rocks. Whoosh! What is Uplander doing? Sneaky taker, treasure belongs to Roundrix. Uplander needs it for Giant of Whirlycocks? But glowstone is most favorite treasure of Roundrox. Alright, but Uplander must promise to bring it back, or Roundrox is getting very angry. Here, hop in. Fine.
It was too late.
Too late. Hello! Hello, hello.
Did you get this aether current over here?
Oh, I didn't actually. I've passed it, like 3 times now. Good eye. That dragonfly really wanted your nuggies.
Yeah.
No, Kali, no burns I see. Oh, no reason. Tell me, did the 3G7001B reveal anything? Got a rock. It's true. Thank you, and you have my word that I'll give this back to Roundrex when I've finished with it. Now, let's take a listen to what the Illuminati are really saying. Goodness, all that infernal beeping is gone. Now it's a message clear as day. Let's see. Today's schedule for Gordius. Registration at 7th bell. Stop. Lose the Corbel Cubs at 3rd bell. Stop. Rest and recuperation at 2nd bell. Repeat. Today's schedule for Gordius. Coral lousing? But I'm sure that was the only message. This has to be some sort of jest. Don't be daft, Wedge. It's just another code. You need the proper crystal and the proper knowledge to understand it. Bleeding Illuminati. You should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Quite the commundum you have here. But it's your lucky day. I'll crack the code, assuming we can come to a little arrangement. I'm a treasure hunter by trade, and there's certain something I want inside the giant. I'll help you get inside, you help me get out with it. A fair deal, no? And the name's Mide, by the way. Charmed, I'm sure. You are aware that the interior is almost certainly swarming with Illuminati, yes? Why do you think I came to you? There's strength in numbers, friend. Best we join forces, eh? Now, the words you intercepted are largely gibberish, but paired with the numbers, well, you'll see. 7 stop 3 stop 2, was it? You, the big one. See the pipes atop the hatch? There ought to be a valve up there with a hand wheel. Imagine it's a clock. Try turning it right to 7, left to 3, and then back to 2. Aha! We did it! We did it! So the Illuminati have been announcing the way to enter the Colossus all along. Strange. Well done for cracking the code, anyway. I had less success, sadly. I'm afraid Brave Flox knows a little more than we do about the Illuminati's plan or the Primal. Come, things aren't as bad as all that. If we found a way inside the machine, we'll just have to learn about it as we go. It's only a massive mammoth, after all. Stopping it should be as simple as destroying its core. If we send in a suitably intrepid team of surveyors, I don't see why we can't trace the machine's power back to the source via the struts and piping. And I know just the woman to lead the party. What say you, Akali? And what of me, pray tell? I opened the way for this grand expedition of yours. Surely that's earned me a place in your little band to hunt for my treasure. You did as you promised, and you may do as you will now, but only so long as your treasure hunt doesn't endanger the mission. I'd join you if I could, but there's something I need to see first. I'll leave Biggs and Wedge here in case of emergencies. And good luck, my friend. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I don't want to be dancer. Wait, stop. There we go. This might take a hot minute. Although a lot of people should be doing these because it's required for relic weapons.
Say your prayers to your Gobfathers. It's endytimes for you.
You needn't worry unduly about me. What? Well, fuck. Bye. Not this one probably. I think I know the one. You saw the ultimate version, which we will not be doing because that is very difficult. And it requires weeks and weeks and hours of prog. But you saw what it was based off of. Everyone's doing their relic weapons on this stuff, so people are going to be doing it as fast as humanly possible. And I don't know if they'll let us watch the cutscenes. But watch the cutscenes anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be the content. People can wait the 10 seconds for other people to watch cutscenes. Oh. There's not a lot to this boss anymore. Dodge things. He does mostly AoEs. His big thing, which doesn't even matter too much anymore, is that when he hits about 25%, he will summon a second one. And once you destroy one, the second one will start a countdown, which will wipe the raid if it hits, but that's all that happens.
Oh my.
He won't ever reach Enrage. The DPS will never be that bad. And I don't say that about a lot of things. So here he comes. The other warrior's probably gonna grab him, but if you want, maybe see if you can get your hands on that one. They're also not technically supposed to be connected. That's usually a bad thing. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, so now he's gonna start counting down. Self-detonating, yeah, he's gonna self-destruct, but if we don't kill him in time. No problem. So, oh, did you open the treasure chests?
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll talk about how the treasure chests work. So remember in the coils, we got, um, the gear itself. It no longer works that way. You now get parts, and a certain amount of parts will make the gear that you need. Unfortunately, the gear that we are currently wearing, or fortunately, I guess, fortunately, the gear that we are currently wearing, is better than what we can get from the Gordian parts. So the bolts will always get you. You need one bolt for an accessory. The pedals, I believe, you need 2 of them to get a boot. And a chain, I think, is a belt. So, we don't need any of this stuff. So you can pass on all of it. Unless you just wanted it for glamour, but you can't dye the normal version of stuff. Expertly done, adventurer. Well, what have we here? Sure, sorry, Randrax could not stay away. So many new treasures here. Treasures? Oh, you mean the odd bits and bobs? Well, little one, these machina are yours to take, and some of them are rather beautiful, I must admit. Uplander can tell pretty machines from ugly, just like Roundrox. No harm in adding one more to our company, is there? I'll keep an eye on her. Damn it, I was so sure. Pshaw, Uplanders are unwise to come, but most of all is treasure... Oh. Uplanders are unwise to come, but most of all is treasure hunter. What she seeks is not here, not in all of Gordius. Can you snag those bots, my dear? Thank you, thank you. As I live and breathe, Quick thinks all thoughts, master of the Illuminati. Gobbies are backstrapped and boom dust. Uplander shoots, everybody kabooms. Uplander ear catches tongue flaps of master. Enigma Codex for plans making is gone. Illuminati are already undertaking Alexander incentive. Pusha, foolish Gobby. Secrets are kept silent. Tongue flaps never traded with outsiders. Has Quick thinks not ordered so many times? The master forgive noise making of empty head. Gobby did not think. Please, Gobby will take any punishment, just not worst one. Now. What is up? Uplander is shooting Gobbies! And boom does not harm Uplanders. Blood! Uplander blood for fallen Gobbykin! I think now would be a good time to leave. Whoosh. Uplander, what is Enigma Codex? Treasure? Yes, young one. My treasure. Bleeding hell's face to face with the head of the Illuminati, eh? Sounds like you had quite the adventure, and this Alexander initiative has got me wondering. Do you reckon it might be the giant's name? No sign of the core, though, eh? Well, we'll just have to look further in. I'll let the chief know anyway. He'll be happy to hear Mide and Roundrix are safe, too. Those two haven't stopped talking about machines since they got back. Can't say I've ever thought of junk as pretty, but to each their own. Biggs seems eager to forge further into the machine. Ah, Kali, ready to have another go at finding the giant's core? Wedge, could you... Oi, Wedge, stop listening to that bloody link burrow. We've barged through the Illuminati's front door. They know we've broken their code. But I've just this moment intercepted a new communication. If you'll give me a moment to... There! It says, oh, death to Uplanders, death to Uplanders. I think we may have started a war. Ready?
Yeah.
Bactrix is still helping me intercept Illuminati communications. He really is a natural when it comes to codes. Truly, these goblins never cease to amaze me. If the Illuminati want a war, it seems only fair that we bring their base to its knees. We need to find the giant's core and quick. Push, Roundrix likes me. Trading tongue flaps is so much fun. Look, look! The Whirlycog Roundrix found 36 malms north and west, and that one was only 10 malms from Arcaton. With shiny junk and sparkly rocks, bibbity bobs and whirlycogs. My, but Roundrix has a lot of treasures. Not many are much use, but they're all lovely in their own right. She has a fine eye. Speaking of which, do you recall me mentioning that she had described Quinklinks' face, and how I assumed she must mean his mask? Well, the more I think about what she said, the more I think she really did mean his face. How could she possibly tell? Illuminati goblins. Up the stairs, down the stairs. Down there. So this isn't so much a boss fight as a bunch of mobs fly everywhere. Why do a ready check and then go anyway? Yeah, so just kill Goobies. Make sure to grab one of those boys. So we don't need to open these chests. Okie dokie. Pusha! Uplander is amazing! Uplander is stronger than 10 gobbies! Ah, there you are, old friend. I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever find you. Biggs's account left something to be desired, so I thought it best to see the interior with mine own eyes. A treasure hunter through and through? Tell me, what exactly do you hope to find here? Ever heard of the Enigma Codex? It's a book of ideas written some 100 years past, the life's work of one of the greatest technologists ever to draw breath. Within its pages are found myriad wonders, from designs for machina that could operate ceaselessly for centuries to novel ways of cultivating cheese. Even a fragment of the book could bring a king's ransom. But most remarkable of all are the plans for the walking citadel. It was to be a beacon of logic and reason for all the world. A walking citadel? 7 hells we're standing in it, aren't we? The Illuminati's primal took its form from that idea. But I sense that none of this is news to you. You read it then, this Enigma Codex? The design catered for every needful thing, from warm beds to crops of grain. Its occupants would never have to leave, and all in a fortress on feet, impenetrable, and ready to move at a moment's notice. The citadel was meant to bear the most brilliant scholars and artificers of the age to all 4 corners of the world, that they might set about unraveling the mysteries of creation. And this utopia, this shining set of erudition, was to be called Alexander. Gosh, if Rondrux lived in Walking Castle, Rondrux could collect treasure from everywhere. Indeed you could, little one, and anything you found, be it junk, forgotten teachings, or lost secrets, would be yours for the taking. And what exactly would the Illuminati do with all this knowledge? They would use it to take control, most likely. Create a world ruled by the few chosen scholars. Unless I'm mistaken, that's why the Illuminati exists. Bloody fanatics. Take a perfectly good idea and make it into an object of faith. What could possibly go wrong? I can well imagine how people who spent decades carrying their homes on their backs might crave a home that could carry them. How such a place could seem like a utopia. Well, we're not talking about a machine here, we're talking about a primal. And primals will be the death of us all. I trust you'll be ready when things come to a head, Akali. Push! Utopia's happy place. Where there is junk aplenty, Roundrux is happy. Where is a very happy place of mate? Wherever he is. I know it's feathered and very good. The Enigma Codex sounds amazing. A walking citadel's one thing, but a self-sustaining walking citadel? Genius. It's just a pity the Illuminati had to go and make a bleeding primal out of it. From what I understand, this Alexander was active for no more than a few seconds. That's seconds! And it nigh dried the hinterlands of Aether. Imagine what it'd do if it wandered the whole bleeding world. I don't think Rondrix realizes how much danger we're in here. Too busy hunting for new treasures. Probably for the best, though, eh? Judging by the twinkle in Biggs's eye, Sid has a plan. We've got ourselves a problem, Akali, but don't worry, the Chief has a plan. Speaking of whom, Chief, over here! All present and correct, I see. Good. Something has been nagging at me for a while, Akali, and I finally realized what it is. It concerns the communications Wedge intercepted. So we know that the Illuminati have managed to establish a base inside the Colossus, meaning that they also have found a way to pierce the magic barrier. Assuming that's the case, what need have they to use only the hatch which the barrier doesn't protect? And why go to the trouble of sending coded messages on how to unlock it? The answer? Spies. I believe the Illuminati have an agent outside the Colossus, most likely in Idleshire itself, who is using the hatch as a back door. Now, this agent will know we've broken their code, and that the hatch is constantly watched, so he won't have been able to use it for some time. As such, he'll doubtless be desperate to re-establish contact with the inside. And that's why I cleared the area around the giant's head. All we need to do now is watch and wait, and follow whoever makes a dash for the hatch. Chief, Link Pearl call from Red Bricks. He says Brave Phlox went inside, but she can't be. No, it must be an impersonator. Chief, whomever you met earlier was a spy. Quick, you've got to get after her. You ready?
Ready.
Meet and the chief are already inside Alexander. Rally your band and get after them. That Brave Fox impersonator had me completely fooled. Though, to be honest, those masks all look the same to me. Psh, Brayrax is keeper of knowledge and data. What does Outlander wish to learn? Oh, I can't. Maybe. I actually can't remember what they're all called. You're about to meet an infamous boss.
Dun, dun.
It's Pepsi Man!
Oh my god.
I'm actually shocked they waited, considering the disgruntlement. But yeah, so this is the every time there's a monster that looks like this or a boss that looks like this, his name is Pepsi Man, and he was a static breaker in Savage. He was in the very first Savage tier, Final Fantasy XIV, was insanely hard. And the last one for Savage, that we will do next, actually couldn't be geared, it couldn't be cleared DPS wise until you had all the best gear you possibly could from the first three. It was that, just that hard and that challenging. So much so that one of the most famous persons who writes guides on all the raids, never cleared it. Never cleared E4, or A4S. It's the only raid she's never cleared.
down the item.
Yeah, get away from other people. It drops negatives. Positive attract, negatives, yes, to separate. Oh, you guys actually should have got close. Sorry. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so negatives, if you have the same, you repel each other. If you have opposites, you get in close together. The magnets still throw me off because I have to think about magnets in the middle of a raid, and it's hard because I don't know how it works. It's the one mechanic where, like, when I get connected to something, and I like have a positive, and the thing has a negative, and I'm like, I don't know. I have to think about it really hard. Someone open the chests. You would do well to pass on those in case you're the last one out. Because then you automatically get them. You did wait. I'm gonna calm them because they waited for us. Thank you, Dark Knight. Whoosh, Gobby found it. Good. Knowings of missing piece are with the Illuminati. Why don't they call themselves the Illuminati? Gobby did well indeed. This is how you treat those who please you. Whoosh! Now is realm in chaos. Broken. Machine with too many parts. But Illuminati plan needs one thing. Missing piece to bring world order. Give world harmony. Make world perfect. And what of those that don't fit your version of perfection? How many must die to pay for your utopia? Don't you see? You summoned a goddamn primal. It will devour the aether of every land you visit until Heidelin and everything on it is dead. Inside fortress of Illuminati, chosen will live on. If inferior on outside, die for progress, so be it. This is the cost of seeking for knowings. Hells take you in your damned seeking. Wise uplanders find happiness in Illuminati rule. Unwise uplanders, utopia does not need. So it's obey or die then. Pah, the whole concept is grotesque. No, Sid. Like the rest of the ideas set out in the Enigma Codex, Alexander is wonderful in itself. Perfect even. But in the rush to realize its ideals, even the best of us can be led astray. Oh, so once upon a time these Illuminati were starry-eyed philanthropists, is that it? And it was only after they got their hands on your perfect bloody codex that they turned into vicious killers? Tell me, was there any passage in particular that convinced them to abandon their last shred of empathy? I cannot speak for the precise contents of the codex, not anymore, but I haven't forgotten everything I read. I think I can stop the core, if you can get me close enough. You think you can, or you know you can, and what of its location? It's somewhere in the trunk. How close we are to that, I can't say. Round rocks can say. 2 paces of round rocks are 1 yalm, so by count of round rocks, chest of whirlywog giant is only a little further. Yeah, clever girl. You've been measuring how far we've come from the start. Alright. I propose we withdraw for the time being. I don't know what will happen when we breach the core, but I do know that we'll be all the better equipped to deal with it if we're well rested and ready for anything. All should be well enough. No one should have the power to choose who lives and who dies. The idea is too vile, too insidious to be left unchallenged. We have to act. If we don't, Alexander will awaken, and the Illuminati will be unstoppable. Make no mistake, Akali, it's now or never. Mine has a slightly impatient air about her. To think I have the knowledge required to shut down the giant's core, but if I'm to reach it, I'll need you to lend me your strength. Well, really, the Illuminati's latest message is, well, let's just say it's unsuitable for polite company. I should be much obliged if you teach those privy-mouthed savages some manners, Akali. Anyway, before that Gabi was executed, I wanted to ask, why didn't they call themselves Illumagabis?
That would be very good.
Illumagabis? I can't believe Koji Fox didn't think of that one. Alright, ready?
Probably something with translation.
Maybe. Oh. Did you not... Are you not actually ready?
Right. I guess I didn't finish talking to her, even though she was done talking to me.
There we go. How exactly will I stop the giant? Let me worry about that. All you have to do is get me to the core. Push if Uplander comes back safe from core breaking, Roundrux will give one piece of secret treasure. Okay, so we always start with the right leg, but you need to, as the off tank, need to grab aggro on the left one. You don't have to keep fighting it, just make sure you have aggro. There you go. Now go for the right. Nicely done.
Oh god.
Oh, you've got whisked away. Goodbye.
Why?
Bye forever. Just make sure you have aggro on whatever's fighting the summoner.
I'm connected to two people.
Yeah, no, don't. You're supposed to let people take those tethers. Because some of them are fake and some of them are real, but you don't want to be hit by many real ones, so everyone takes the tether. So, you should, when you're the connector, just don't move. So other people are gonna take those for you. Grab the dolls?
I'm not here.
You got whisked away again?
Yeah. I'm back.
Yeah, grab the dolls. That's so funny. I didn't know you'd get taken twice. Ooh, Nieces. So what Nieces are, is some people get blue Nieces, which is a blue ring, and some people get red Nieces. If a blue ring and a red ring are connected, it's an instant death.
Oh my.
Which I think is what happened to me. I think I was murdered. But I can't say for certain. I'm not 100% sure what happened to me, other than I'm very low geared, but I definitely keeled over for reasons that are unexplainable to me. So, you can roll, none of this. You don't want any of this. Some people want it, we don't want it. Enjoy the trash. I got 2 commendations for falling the fuck over. It's true, I'm very dangerous. We're here, and none the worse for wear, so if you need another pair of hands, just say the words. Thank you, Sprightly. So this is the heart of the machine, eh? I knew I should have brought a bigger hammer. Not that I'll be needing it, of course. Isn't that right, Maid?
Wouldn't it be Mide? Because
Mide?
it's supposed
I
to
don't.
be Japanese.
Oh, it's well, she's Zayla, so they have Mongolian names.
Oh.
So I don't know. I can start calling her Mide. I have no idea, though. I'll Google it when we do the next tier. Let's see what the wiki says, how her name is pronounced. Look! Psha! Greater are knowings in brain cases of unwise than quick thinks believed. Perhaps quick thinks judge too quickly. Perhaps Illuminati should study uplanders. It is before eyes of Gabi? Good. Do not fail. Illuminati have no use for failing Gobbies. Push. End of Gabi's long wanderings is close. Something isn't right. Something isn't right at all. The way Quick Think spoke, you'd think he had won. He didn't seem too bothered, that's for sure. Do you think he might have planned for us stopping Alexander's core? What was it the chief said again? About the Illuminati finding what they needed to complete their plan? Something along the lines of a missing piece, I thought. And what of Quick Think's honor guard, the two adults who were ever at his side? Why aren't they here? The Illuminati must surely have known we were coming. What could be more important than protecting their leader? You don't think he sent them to Idleshire, do you? While our backs were turned like? That would... Come on! We were in no hurry to go save Idleshire. Push! Giant loses power! Uplanders succeed! Never mind that. Did the Illuminati come? Is Idleshire safe? Push? How does Uplander know? Yes, many Illuminati come to take stuffs of Gobfather. Great was chaos, but suddenly Illuminati go and take only junk, not worth Jigglyshine. They came barging in ready to start a war, then scarped with a handful of bleeding junk? Hold on a minute, when were they last seen? Psh. Red brings things near the shortstop. Roundrux, come on! I'll go find the chief. He'll know what to do. I think... So long as this doesn't... Yes, we will take this one. Redbrix grows anxious for lack of tidings. Psh, Uplanders are gone too long for comfort of Redbrix. Shortstop is place of clashings with Illuminati. Illuminati are up to no good, maybe using confusion to do foul things. Uplander must go and see. Make sure all is well. Is everything still as we found it? They haven't come back, have they? No, they're gone for now. And everyone seems to be perfectly fine, physically at least, but Roundrux. Psh, gone. All gone. Poor thing. The Illuminati took everything. I'm just glad she was collecting trinkets with Backtricks when they came. I daren't think what might have happened had she been here. Come, come, little ones, dry your tears. One thief unconscious. We found him lurking near the edge of town, not far from your treasure, Roundrux. Uplander brings treasures home. Thanks to Uplander. Many, many thanks. It was all Biggs, little one. He had a feeling a few soldiers might be lurking around, waiting to ambush us, and this is what we stumbled onto when we went to look. But why did the Illuminati take Roundrick's collection in the first place? Surely that can't have been their goal. I wouldn't be so sure. Were I to guess, I'd say the Illuminati believed something they wanted was hidden amongst Roundrick's pile of trinkets. Rather than waste time sorting through them, they decided to take the lot. When they subsequently realized they didn't have what they were looking for, they crept back into town to wait a chance to seize whatever it was they actually wanted. What if bad gobbies want most favorite treasure of Roundrock's? One that is safe with Uplanders? You mean the glowstone that Akali borrowed? But of course! It's been sitting in the decoding machine all along. Yes, Roundrix would be sad without a pretty glowstone. It is special treasure from near Old Castle. Rusty one that was left by Uplanders from before. Wait, what do you mean from before, Roundrix? Were you near the Charlian ruins when the metal giant first appeared? Yes, Roundrix saw Whirlycog giant stand 3 years ago. But was only for a little bit, and big gobbies do not believe Roundrix. 3 years ago, when someone tried and failed to summon the primal. A fragment of the Codex, of all places in the realm. Only a fragment of the original, so that crystal must be the Illuminati's missing piece. We may have stopped the primal and taken their prize, but our foes are not about to admit defeat. They'll be back and out for blood, like as not. But we've got you, Akali, and I'm sure you'll be ready for the onslaught when it comes. Might I suggest you make merry till then? Push Roundrox is happy. Many friends worry. Think of Roundrox. Uplander is one. Roundrox thinks. Kind Uplander. Let me chime in as well, Akali. Roundrox's home needed protection, and you provided it. Not many would do that, and certainly not in the face of a primal. You have my thanks also. Media helped Roundrox too. Uplanders have good hearts and kind. Only so many of us find Machina pretty, my dear. We have to stick together, don't we? Didn't Mighty always like Whirlycobs and Bitty Bobs? Not like you, Roundrix. My love, he adored the things, inventing, building, and tinkering with them. Mighty always touches heart mark when remembering. Do I? Well, I suppose I do. Those times were something else, little one. My friends and I, we were lost in our dream. We thought to put back the pieces of the broken world with logic, reason, and technology. And we were certain we could do it too. I hadn't much skill with thinking up things or making them, but I helped in my small way, and that feeling of aiding in someone else's dream, sharing it, washes over you like a wave of happiness. I've never felt that way since. Now it all seems so far away. Even the memories feel like I dreamed them rather than lived them. Well, enough of that. Roundrix is right, adventurer. You're a kindly soul. Keep an eye on our girl till next we meet, will you? Alright. So that is all we can do until patch 2.3. So, we will leave the gobbies for now. Are you enjoying the Illuminati quest?
Yee.
I know it can be a little dull. Why don't, before we hit the main story, why don't we get you that dungeon unlocked? Because I need to do it too.
Okie dokie.
But I need to do it on... We'll have to probably double DPS it, which is fine. And I have to go get the quest itself. Best way to do that is start in Tailfeather and make my way down to Dravania.
Hey, come back.
Yeah, yeah. Does the music play for you?
No.
No? Okay, I have my mount music turned off, but I didn't know if it was also off for you as well. I actually don't know how to put it back on. Well, it's fine. One day I'll turn mount music back on. So did you unlock the dungeon?
I did.
Okay, good, good, good. I have not done... I'm missing 2 quests out here, and then I would be able to fly. This is the only one that has a dungeon, I believe. Except maybe, there might be some in the hinterlands? But yeah, there's always, like, one optional dungeon, except for Shadowbringers. Like, in the middle, usually early on. There's one in Stormblood, too. It's like, hey, here's a low-level dungeon. And you're like, oh, thanks?
To unlock the dungeon, you have to go down to the frozen aetherite. What's it called? The con something?
Yeah, I have to grab the quest from the boys. I haven't grabbed those yet. That's where we're going.
Oh, it looked like you were going towards the dungeon. I'm like, no. Wait.
No. We're going to the Lancer boys down there.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. We will double DPS queue, which will be not ideal, but I'll get the dungeon unlocked really quick, queue it, and then I will do the last quest while we wait for that queue to pop. It shouldn't take too long. Oops, I need this. We are the only ones. Oh, Alex is on, but that's fine. So. Oh yeah. The dead care not for justice, but Wedthello would see them have it just the same. Cowards, all of you! Have you no shame at all? Oh, I beg you. Wait, are you not Mistress Yana, honored ward of House Fortamps? Praise Helone, surely you will consider my request. Know you the Dusk Vigil? Westernmost of the Citadel watchtowers, built to warn of the Horde approach. 'Twas lost following the calamity, another victim of the snows. Within the ruins lies a priceless treasure, which must needs be reclaimed. I thought to enlist the services of so-called dragon slayers, but it seems their courage is not boundless as they would have you believe. But you, madam, you are not one to shy away from danger, am I right? Very good indeed. There's a sculpture of the Fury within the Dusk Vigil's chapel. An ice rondel is set in its helm. I would have you pry it free and deliver it to me. The Vigil is not difficult to find. Simply head north towards Bane Pool until you come to the gates. Knights may bar your passage, but should you explain who you are, they will grant you leave to enter. Who else has got my... Genital wants you to experience firsthand what life in the Convectorary is like. I remember you. How could I forget? You're the last who was with the Azure Dragoons Company. Since you are here anyway, perhaps you might like to try your hand at a spot of hunting before you depart? See for yourself what life is like for the Convictors. The Dravanian horde is stronger than you might expect, unless you've been at it for years, like I have. I think it's prudent to start with something simple, then work your way to the Dragoons. I suggest rooms. Slay 3 of those and then come back here. Consider it a warm-up. And what do you have, Lucy? I was pretty sure I only needed... Well, apparently I need 3. Lucy stares over the snowdrifts, a grim expression upon her face. Want to help out, do you? Well, there's plenty that needs doing, and killing besides. I'm sure you've noticed the dragons aren't the only thing we have to contend with out here. Take the polar bears, for example. They come here looking for an easy meal, drawn by the smell of our cook fires, and then raid our stores. Think you could thin their number a little? Killing 4 or so of them shouldn't suffice. You'll be compensated for your troubles, of course. Okay, let's go get unlocked the dungeon real fast, and then we'll do the other things. Oh, do you want to ride my giant whale?
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
Let me get off my chicken. Seat 7. Nah.
It's a void whale. Keep making them whale noises. Oh, to be a little faster out here in the wilderness.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. Is this so you only have to do the dungeon, right?
No, I have 3, just like you.
Oh, you saw the dungeon and you were like, "Welp, this is all
I'm like, yep,
pointless
that's
now."
enough.
Yeah, you won't have to take this one, so that will be nice. It's a the last boss is kind of a lot. They're all kind of a lot, but. What's this? A word of heart force. A word of House Four Tops wishes to enter the Dust Vigil. You are aware that the ruins are infested with wild beasts, and gods only knows what else, are you not? Why, just the other day, one of the convictors claimed to have seen a massive winged beast. Not a dragon, mind, but something different altogether. But far be it from me to deny the esteemed personage of the opportunity to kill herself in new and exciting ways. Pray go on ahead. Alright. Let's do that.
Did you get the aetherite or the aether current over here?
Yeah, I have all the aether currents.
Okay.
I am missing just the quests. Yeah, there's one in this little thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh boy, here we go, killing again.
Been a while since we did a little killing. Just robots. Robots. Always getting targeted by stuff. You didn't even try to avoid it.
Nah. I'm faster than him, it's fine.
I should actually be doing this on my or my ninja actually. That is actually what I will do. Ninja. There we go.
Where you going?
To kill polar bears.
Oh, I didn't realize they were here too.
Trick attack!
I need one more polar bear.
Oh, you need one more polar bear?
Yeah, don't you?
Apparently. Allegedly. You got there's little markers where let us know where polar bears and shit are on our maps. That gives me plenty of time to do another trick attack. Don't attack him yet, or my trick attack won't work. So just give it a second. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Any second now. Bam! There we go. God. How could you say this to me? I will actually turn these in on Dragoon then. Slain those rooms already, have you? How did you find them? Did they put up much of a fight? Good work, lass. Clearly Asher's Dragoon doesn't travel with mere amateurs. It doesn't like those rooms barely put up enough of a fight to be considered a proper warm-up. You clearly know what you're doing. If you try to hold, if you want to try your hand at hunting down some dragons, speak with me again sometime. Well, well, you're certainly more reliable than any lordling I've ever met. They've only got eyes for dragons, even though I tell them time and time again that if no one sees to these bears, they'll be nary a scrap to eat. But do they listen? Huh. I dare say everyone around here could stand to be a little more like you. Well, I said you'd be compensated, and I'm true to my word. I trust you'll consider this fair remuneration for your efforts. Coffee is for mages. I guess I'll take the bacon bread, if only because that sounds delicious. Now we just gotta do the dungeon, eh?
Hey.
Hey. Well, there's no point in leaving. Let's explore the rest of the map for XP.
Can I ride on that?
No.
Oh.
Can you do it? Oh, you're fighting polar bears.
I'm not, actually, I'm just running around. Actually, the only place I need to explore is over here. You probably have a lot more to explore though.
It's top right, mid right, and then bottom right, and then middle left. Or like far left.
There we go.
That's all you had left to explore?
No, I also have top right.
Okay. Top right. There's no sense in leaving, because once we finish the quest, we have to turn it in. Or I would start the main story, but... See all the polar bears you agitated.
It's fine.
Yeah? They're endangered. Are they? Perhaps not. Oh, the moon's so big out here in Kurthus. Moon's haunted.
Oh man.
Moon's haunted. Cock's gun. Oh, the boat. I'm fine. I forgot about the North Star here. frozen in place forevermore. I wonder if going down the river would be the best way to get some of these other points. I think so. Did you see the frozen dragon in the cave?
No.
Oh. That's on the other side. I think that's one of the things I'm missing. It's very neat. Because this whole world is like... It's a moment in time when the calamity, like the flash freeze happens, so you've got like little canoes out in the water, people's homes and stuff. So there's even dragons that have been completely frozen solid.
Is there no possible way to put it back?
Kurthus?
Yeah.
Eventually, over time, the Aether will sort of situate itself, but it's going to take a very long time. And in some cases, things never get better. There is a place called the Burn, which is what caused the site of it caused the Garlean Empire to go on their huge conquest to destroy primals. Because the Burn is a wasteland that was completely drained of all Aether energies due to the work of a primal. And when they came across this land, Solus Galvus said, we can never let this happen. See what primals do to the world? And that's not wrong. Primals do... Things like that do happen when primals are left unchecked. And so they sought to exterminate the primals via conquest. And primals caused this too. Bahamut did this. So I don't know if it will ever go quite back to the way it was. The Bahamut, up until very recently, was still leeching off the ether of this land, as was Louis Swa when he was a phoenix. So in time, things may right itself, but it is difficult to say. I actually probably should go in that little nook right there. I think I'm missing. Aha!
Hey.
It was me. I didn't hit the button. I switched to dancer and then didn't do anything else.
I also didn't hit the button because I wanted to get one of the last pieces of the map.
It'll be easier to
It's
do when you can fly.
I had 30 seconds left.
Hello, hello. Is it greetings? Well, it's fine. Tink's first time. Your first time. I'm secretly my first time. Secretly. Secretly. Aw. What a nice little room. What happened to you?
I jumped in when the AoE was going on.
Classic red mage. I have done the backflip when I have like a circle AoE on me, jumped into someone else who had a circle AoE on me, and murdered the both of us. Red mage rats. I have also backflipped into death walls, constantly and consistently, and have backflipped off of platform to my death. He's a big boy.
I love him.
So, all you have to know about this is that you need to dodge AoEs, and sometimes, due to do the things beyond your control, you will get wombo comboed and die. That's all there is to it. Like me. I'm about to get wombo. Please sit. Please leave me alone. Like that. That's scary.
Ah, there's a target on me.
Goodbye. Goodbye forever. Oh, again! Oh. Enjoy being able to do nothing. Oh, I forgot to hit my button. I was like, why am I not doing what I need to do? To whoever reads this, if there is anyone left to read it, let it be known that I, Sir Passalant Noratelle, bore witness to Delamal's fall, the Lesser Moon's descent, the black doom which emerged from within, the flames which spread across the horizon during night to day. It shall haunt me for the rest of my days. It is the dawn of the 7th Umbral Era, according to some of the men. I told them to put no stock in the ravings of prophets, but even I do not know what to believe anymore.
Where you going?
Treasure.
Oh. Oh god.
Just stay close to Tank if things get on you. He'll pull him off. The men we rescued from Collapse Wing have not fared well. Given our dwindling supplies and the seemingly endless blizzard, we are forced to make difficult decisions soon. The unreasonable weather grows worse with every passing day, and the toll it has taken on morale is plain. We have yet to receive reinforcements from the Holy See, and I fear none shall come. Nevertheless, Sir Yolmik remains steadfast in his decision and will suffer no talk of withdrawal. Sir Yolmik's steward tells me he passes hours in the chapel, praying to the Fury for guidance, but I chanced to see him once as he knelt before the statue. His eyes were transfixed upon the jewel in its helm, and he was whispering things I dare not write. Sir Yolmik has taken me into his confidence. He says I am an honest man. I wish I were a braver one. The mutiny has been quelled. Among the starving half-mad knights were Sir Yolmik's most trusted officers. He wielded the axe himself. Sir Yolmik received me in the chapel afterwards. I told him we will not last a fortnight without food. He smiled and told me that the Fury has blessed us with bounty of fresh meat, then returned to his prayers. I joined him. Oops, that's not the button. O Helone, I pray forgive your humble servant. For too long I fear the rule of my heart and my cowardice. I have been party to unspeakable acts. I outstood outside her grace. don't know if they're gonna say it outright, Carly, but they started eating each other.
Oh man. Just like the Donner party.
And those rugby players. You were gonna want to we want to kill these ads, because they're a problem. Conjurers go first if we come across them, or whatever the healing ones are called. Inside? Yeah, Churigan, go first. In. Churigan. Nicely done. In. Out. Yeah, the tank didn't have aggro on the dog, and the dog was killing me. And so I ran to him, and I think the healer, because the healer was healing me, took aggro from the dog, so the dog didn't actually follow me. And then those sprites, because the tank wasn't being healed, because the dog. Yeah, so it's just a series of unfortunate events. Oh, they have the Moogle Astroglobe. I can hear the Koopos. Oh, a red mage sword for you.
For me.
For you. Well, I think you still have the base one, right? You do.
No.
Oh no. You actually might not actually be better, but you should need on that shit anyway.
I do.
Good.
Anything I can need on, I do.
Good.
Our healer. I didn't know if they were lagging out or something.
Just vibing. Okay, you gotta have some quick reaction times.
Oh man. The Alliance? Time to kill him.
So the piles of rubble around us are important. So you want to be kind of close, but not too close to one of those. Because if he jumps on you, he'll break them, and we need those. Yeah. Alright, we want to scooch over to this. Oh, these piles. Yep, so we want to be behind this thing. This means I was safe.
Followed as best I could.
No, I know. That was a late call. Behind the rocks. Yep. Yep. That was my mistake. I can't remember what these things are called, but we should be okay. We can still do damage, yeah. Free fall is the jump. Yeah. And then Winds of Winter behind a rock. Nicely done. Don't always stay behind a rock. Right. So you excellent.
Close, but not too close.
Oh shit. I hacked up.
What?
Oh, this is some beans, I think. Oh, that's not good. Our healing's dead. Oh, I'm gonna heal me. I don't have the limit bar in my fucking bar. Actions. Winds of Winter behind the rock.
Oh, it's too late for me.
Shit. Oh god. Please don't take this to me.
Hey!
Ooh.
Yeah, I rushed in to do my red mage stuff, and you're like behind a rock. I'm like, I am slashing him with my sword. It was too late.
Oh, I was so scared. Astroglow. Rogue stuff. Tons of rogue stuff. Insufficient inventory space. Oh, it's because I have all these fucking robot parts on my bed. Oh, I must have accidentally got some shit. Oh, probably from the fourth one when I wasn't paying attention. Grab that. Griffin card. Use that. And pass on the Astroglow. Don't need clear prisms. That's garbage. Alright. Ooh. Well, we did it. Oh, spicy. Do you have it, Mistress Yana? Yes, there is no mistaking it. At last, it is ours once more. My parents presented this sapphire to me on my wedding day, as my wife and I presented it to Umeric on his. One day they would do the same for their son. But for that disgrace of an inquisitor, suspicion of heresy, what rot! He knew what he wanted from the start. By the time I secured her release, they had interrogated her for days. She was a shadow of her former self. But the final insult, the final twisting of the knife, was when my son took command of at the dusk vigil and found the ice rondel to be the centerpiece of the newly commissioned sculpture of the Fury. He couldn't prove it was the selfsame one which had vanished, but oh, he knew. But no more, no more. It's back with the family where it belongs. It is admittedly hollow comfort, yet my waning years I must accept what little that can be had. We did it!
Yes.
It'll be easier to do all the random side quests out here now. Woo! We did it! Alright.
So freeing.
Main story is in Ishgard. I believe in outside House Four Tops, maybe? Or I suppose it's inside House Four Tops. And we're not gonna probably complete the whole patch, but we'll do some of it. Four Tops? Yeah, I like saying it a lot. Yeah, it's inside the house. House Four Tops.
And just walk in.
It's because it's instant. It needed to be instant at the time because this was like, it's like the Waking Sands and the the Rising Stones. So many of your starter quests start in there, like when patches and everything, it's usually right in here. So they needed to be to help with the gaggle of people that would inevitably. Elfino wishes to share the latest developments in the search for the missing scions. Fortuitous timing as always, Akali. Tataru was about to brief me on the search for our missing comrades. If you would be so kind, then. Absolutely. You'll be pleased to hear that Raoul and his men have been making excellent progress. You remember how Philemon helped me to escape the Crystal Braves in Limsa Nomensa, only to then disappear? Well, according to Raoul, she crept aboard a ship bound for Razet Had, where she's been hiding ever since. He assures me that it won't be long before we're reunited. As for Ida and Papalimo, the remains of their link pearls have been found, and in Pearl Lane of all places. Raoul thinks they must have disposed of them after escaping from the Royal Promenade. Yes, that would make sense. They could not risk being eavesdropped upon by our betrayers. We're all but certain they fled the city shortly after, though we still don't have a clue where they went. I see, and what of Thancred and Manfilia? I'm afraid I have nothing new to share about those two, but it's not all doom and gloom. The good news is we've enlisted the services of a Chilean scholar, one of the students of Baldesion, to aid in the search, who should be arriving any day now. One of the students, you say? I would very much like to meet this scholar, if time permits. But first we must attend to a more pressing matter. Sir Emmerich has summoned the two of us for a private audience. The messenger did not specify what he wished to discuss, only that it was urgent. Assuming you have no objections, Akali, I suggest we proceed to the congregation forthwith. And mayhap we can meet the scholar afterwards, agreed? In that case, I think I shall return to the Forgotten Knight for now. Things are liable to fall apart if I'm gone for too long, you know. I'm surprised they let me take that quest as a level 58 Dragoon.
I'm a level 56 Red Mage, so.
Yeah, I'm certain we won't be allowed to turn in the quests as these, but it was interesting that we weren't even allowed to take it. Where? Oh, to the congregation, to the Forgotten Knight teleport. The Lord Commander is within. Pray proceed, miss.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
Privacy.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities. I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new Archbishop. But in light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
I too had concerns. But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
It's true. But I did look very cool.
Mayhap I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence? After 1,000 years of lies and secrecy, I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number question our methods.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
It has already begun, and that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the Broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order, but such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Trine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
Annex Trine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard. Were she still with us, I would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor? Thank you, my friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on, to have faith in a brighter tomorrow? tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens. Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph. As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
I'm taking a sippy, and I have done all I can for them. I will have to do a check when stream is done. I saw the little one and I was worried about swimming around, so I think he's okay. It was very scary. Yeah, I had a snail passed away earlier today, or last night, and I think he spiked. Snails decompose very, very quickly, and I believe he caused a spike in the ammonia, and that made the little one a bit sick. So I did oh, it's okay. I did a water change, and but it was after the water change that he was acting kind of funny. So I took him out, put him in a little emergency tank, sort of waited till he calmed down, and he seems alright now. Now you've got me all concerned. I'm gonna take a peek at them. Is they're right over here. Oh, there's my shrimp. I don't actually see any quarries. Everybody seems to be in hiding, which is also good. No, it's okay. He was it was sad about the snail, so. Yeah, the Cory catfish, they like to hide until it gets super late, and then they scrounge around for food, so. Yeah, I have a big chunker who's way bigger than all the others, and all he does is sleep under the log, and then he shimmies out when he sees food. He rubs his face on it, and then he shoots back in. He's a big boy. He just eats and waits, and bides his time. The journey at least should pose little difficulty this time. I know little of the lands these dragons call home, the Xanax Trine. Had you not agreed to escort me, the coming journey would seem a far more daunting prospect. I confess, I myself once shuddered at the thought of it, yet even the longest journey begins with the first step, does it not? Ah, but ere we set forth, Akali and I must needs inform our comrade of our plans. Very well, I shall see to my preparations. Then let us go and bid farewell to Tataru, Akali. Tataru was just right out here at the bar. So, what was your secret meeting all about? I'm all ears. A diplomatic mission to annex Trine, you say? Well, I suppose that does take precedence. But should your meeting with Vinfildar happen to end early, you might even consider rendezvousing with Ishtola in Idleshire. She'll be there to receive our guest. Don't get me wrong, your meeting with the dragons is terribly important and everything, but this scholar just happens to be... time permitting, as I said. We shall endeavor to join Ishtola, but if we cannot, pray pass on our regards. Let us be off, Akali. We have kept the first commander waiting long enough. There we go. No longer may I be. Oh, I will do dancer. I will simply dance for the dragons. Dance, cat girl, dance. If I do a little shimmy for them. You are ready then? Good. So am I. Ooh. Hot chocolate because that's got some piety in it. You're gonna want something with tenacity in it. You'll want the almond cream croissant.
But I don't like bread.
You're gonna eat it and you're gonna like it.
I don't want the bread.
You gotta eat the bread. It's for Tank specifically. It's got tenacity in it.
I'll take it, but I won't eat it.
You could have the urchin loaf for red mages.
It's too late, I already took the bread.
I'm gonna take the hot chocolatey. If you and Master Elfino would be so kind as to lead the way. Elfino is ready to escort Lucia to annex Trine. The path is long but known to us. From Falcon's Nest we shall cross the Western Highlands and make for Tailfeather into the Dravanian Forelands. There we can stop and rest and replenish our supplies. Questions? If not, then the stables await. Why can I not simply teleport? However, well, we can at least teleport to Tailfeather. I always imagined that the first time I set foot upon Dravanian soil would be at the head of an army, and here I am, ready to treat with the brothers and sisters of mine enemies. Full well do I know how difficult it can be to set aside the past, though it was I who first proposed recruiting Ysayle to our cause. I questioned the wisdom of my words almost as soon as I had uttered them, and for a long time after that. Here was a woman with the blood of innocence on her hands, men, women, children, all slain in the name of the placeable Lady Iceheart. Yet she acknowledged her misdeeds and agreed to join us in common cause. At our side, she fought in service to that greater good, even unto her dying breath. And while that does not absolve her of her sins, I hope that one day she will be remembered not merely as a heretic, but as a misguided soul who dreamt of peace. You ask much, Master Elfino, yet who can say what might come to pass, should our negotiations bear fruit? Yes, of course. We must press on to annex Trine, if you will follow me. It's simply so far to walk. You have to go all the way around, which is why I was just like, fuck it. She, yes, she is. You will get it. You get it via doing the story. So he shall be yours. Oh, that's the MMO life. Thou art ever welcome here, friend of Ysayle. But this one I do not know. Pray forgive us of this unannounced visit, Vinnofer. May I present to you Lucia, first commander of the Temple Knights of Ishgard, and our trusted friend. No Final Fantasy for a while. It is an honor to meet you, Vinnofer. I am come as an envoy of Sir Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights and acting leader of the Holy See. I am absolutely... So I know Square Enix's remakes, especially for their poor Final Fantasy series, are not great. But I am fucking jazzed about having Final Fantasy 1 and 2 more available for my little hands. And 3 and 4. I'm fucking psyched. Indeed, you may speak, knight. God same. For 1,000 years, man and dragon have been locked in endless cycle of bloodshed and sorrow. To our shame, we long believed your kin to be the architects of this war, but now we know the truth, that King Theoden and his Knights 12 did willingly betray and murder the great worm Radagast, shattering the peace between our peoples. For 1,000 years our leaders conspired to conceal this truth, a truth which has at last laid bare by the warrior of light, the Azure Dragoon, and Ysayle. Alas, a deception so intricately wrought cannot be undone in a moment, and our people labor to accept the truth. After an eternity of war, who would dare to dream that peace could at last be within our grasp? Yet dream we must, as Ysayle once did, and we must make that dream a reality, as she could not. Goodbye, Zath. Take care. We humbly beseech you, Vinifor, join hands with us in friendship once more, before the eyes of my people in Ishgard. A most unexpected invitation. I have heard your request, knight. However, I cannot yet give you mine answer. May I ask why? The matter concerneth my sire. He must needs be consulted. Moreover, the Nath grow bold, even as they did before, and I would not leave my people at the mercy of the swarm. Then we will wait. After 1,000 years of war, we shall not give up on peace for want of patience. Fear not, knight. Thou shalt have mine answer within thy lifetime. So soon, my humble thanks. I shall bear your words to my lord forthwith, until we meet again. Never did I think to see a knight of Ishgard come into Annex Shrine bearing words instead of steel. Would that the Nath could show the same restraint. Too many children have fallen to their spears and muskets. Oh. I walked right past the boy. He's so small. Given the circumstances, I would say that went rather well. To be frank, I am surprised our proposal was not rejected outright. Whether aught will come of it remains to be seen, however. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to speak with some of the other dragons. But you need not wait for me. The return journey holds no fears for me now. If you have no further need of our services, we shall continue on to Sharlayan. We hope to welcome a scholar who has agreed to aid us in the search for our missing comrades. Then I pray your journey is as swift and uneventful as ours was, and thank you again for sparing the time to assist us, even when such grave matters remain unresolved. I can think of no graver matter than a 1,000-year war, one which our friends gave their lives to see ended. Suffice it to say, I would willingly make 1,000 such journeys to ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Of that I have no doubt, Master Elfino. I only hope that fates will not hold you to your word. Elfino is eager to set out for Sharlayan. So it would seem we have time to greet this scholar after all. How delightful! I shall be interested to hear how she means to go about finding Minfilia and Thancred. I can only assume she is privy to some new investigative technique. In any event, our first order of business is to rendezvous with Y'shtola in Idleshire.
Right here.
Another conspicuously uneventful journey. It would seem we are destined not to be late. Ah, Akali, 'tis good to see you. I confess I assumed your business in Onyx Shrine would detain you longer. Did your meeting with Vindofur go well? As well as it can be expected. She must discuss Sir Emmerich's proposal with her race Velgar, of course, but she seemed amenable to the suggestion. What of our Charlian guest? Has she arrived yet? She has, but when I explained that you would be joining us, she asked if she might use the intervening time to explore. I agreed to meet her outside on Front Bridge. We should be on our way. Wait, back in Ishgard. What was she trying to tell me? It would seem we are early. Shall we wait?
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves. Pray, allow me to introduce Kryle, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, miss. And who is that I spy but young Alpha No Levieur himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
We, Miss Kryle and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
Thank you, Kryle.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Mayhap we should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking. Right, on to more pressing matters. Finding Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea. Simply put, assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as it...
Oh shit.
Then what are you waiting for?
God damn it, I hate when I do that.
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Anyway, if Thancred went through the thing the same way Y'shtola did, then he will have left a trail as well. And that's what we need to follow.
I'm back.
Oh, come back.
Yeah.
I don't have my bunny ears on in these cutscenes, and it's really upsetting. Do I have any? Wait a second. This is very important. You must understand.
Do you need a clear prism or something?
No, clear prisms you turn into glamour prisms. They don't actually do anything. I'll get the whale bag.
Ah. Listen, dude, we're just minding our own business. You should do the same.
He just like decided, he's like, I'm gonna cause problems. On purpose.
Yeah, I have a glamour prism if you need it.
No, I got my ears on.
Oh.
But thank you. I bet if you get all, you can just, because now you don't have any dungeons holding you back. You can just get all the flight paths now. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do dungeons anymore.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I don't think you will. Maybe for this zone? Maybe? Because it's a 60 zone, so you might have to do some of the dungeons, but I'll do them with you. We're gonna have to kick this frog's ass, but other than that, we're here. The crystal eye is one of Master Matoya's most cherished relics. I doubt very much that she will grant us leave to lay hands upon it unless we can convince her that it is vital to our cause. She was less than flattering about my technique when last we met, but this time I have come prepared. Let her belittle my obsidian carbuncle if she dares. Do not tell her I said that. You did say we were headed for a cave, did you not? But I certainly don't see a cave nearby. Is Master Matoya meeting us on the way or something? The prospect of meeting the famous Master Matoya seems to have set Kryle thinking. I have heard many stories of Master Matoya, some quite flattering, others less so. Rest assured they are all true. This way, and have care where you tread.
that trouble I smell? Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Kryl, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Oh yes, I don't know when we will talk about it, but Kryl also has the echo. She is not a warrior of flight, but she has a version of the echo, much like Minfilia did.
Kryl, you too possess the echo.
Oh, we're talking about it right now.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
I love this old woman.
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the signs of the seventh dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance, but never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light. But as her strength wanes, so too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size, excepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even, the traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock. I think.
The hunters of Tailfeather know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Let's see if we can find the boy before we wrap this whole thing up. But if it's looking to be a long endeavor, I will simply leave him for a week.
Where did you TP to?
Tailfeather. Thancred may be a capable warrior, but he was wounded when I last saw him. If any beasts were nearby when he emerged from the life stream, he would have been hard-pressed to repel them. We had forests like these on the Isle of El. My grandfather and I used to go for walks together when I could pry him away from his work. It was the least I could do for him, considering everything he has done for me, taking me in when I was an orphan, raising me as his own, and giving me a name. You didn't think my parents named me Cryle Balderson, did you? Were I to find myself in an unfamiliar wilderness, my first instinct would be to seek out civilization. Ordinarily, perhaps, but in his wounded state he may not have wished to risk contact with strangers of unknown allegiance. Yet even had Thancred chosen to remain in the forest, the hunters would surely have stumbled across his trail. Tailfeather doesn't strike me as an isolated outpost, though. Merchants and traders pass through reasonably regularly, do they not? In which case, we'll need to provide a more detailed description were we to question the locals. Fear not, Cryle. I've already prepared several sketches of Thancred for that very purpose. This is impressive. You drew him from memory? A skill I acquired some years ago, for reasons I no longer remember. I propose we split into two pairs. Ishtola and I will inquire on the outlying encampments, while Akali and Cryle question the residents of Tailfeather. Afterwards, we shall regroup near Loth Esvath and share our findings. Assuming there are no objections, let us be about it. My, he certainly has matured, hasn't he? Hard to imagine he was once a boy who practiced drawing for hours to impress young ladies. Anyway, we'd best get started. Find me when you finish making your rounds. She just outed that poor boy. Searching for a friend of yours? Let's have a look then. No, I ain't seen him around, sorry. What's he got there? A sketch? Can't say I know the face. You say he's something of a warrior? I heard a tale the other day about a Huron vagabond who brought down a bandersnatch by himself, and with style. Way they tell it, he was dancing with the beast like it was the belle of the bleeding ball. Sounds like your man? heron man? We're not exactly rare, you know. Could you be more specific? I did spy this one bloke a while back. Didn't get a good look at his face, but it could have been him. This was beyond the forests, I recall, along the river to the west of Tailfeather. I remember thinking he wasn't much of a hunter. The lad was making no effort to cover his tracks, see? That and he was carrying an axe instead of a bow. Oh. Finished? In that case, I think we've learned everything we can here. Let's see what the others have found out. I think we have to go this way and then around, because I think there's a wall on the other side. That sounds right to me. You can't scale every wall you see, apparently. Try as you might.
See about that.
How'd you get so far ahead of me?
Scale the wall.
Shut up. We were to meet here, were we not? My apologies for our late arrival. We thought it wise to question as many hunters as we could. Many have made camp in inaccessible locations, ideal for hunting game, not so receiving visitors. Nevertheless, our time proved well spent. There have been countless sightings of an exceptionally capable heron hunter with whom no one is familiar. Though none chanced to see the man's face, his height and build match Thancred's description, as does his fighting prowess. So you've heard of the same tales. Be that as it may, we yet want for conclusive proof. Mayhap this is unrelated, but I heard a curious tale regarding a vast trader. He came to Tailfeather in search of garments fit for a man of refinement, which seemed a rather curious description for one of his kind. You were implying that Thancred sent a Vath to the market in his stead? Why would he not go himself? Well, if you recall, you yourself emerged from the live stream as naked as your name day. It is a scene I shall never forget. Is it now? Well, I was pleased to see you. I mean, it's a simple statement of fact. It stands to reason that Thancred found himself in the same predicament. In any case, if he had dealings with the Vath, they should be able to tell us so. Quite right, Kryl, quite right. Elfino would very much like to continue to the search for Thancred. Well, what are we waiting for? For all we know, Thancred could be waiting for us in Lothest Vath. We must go and see the Vath right away. Come along, everyone, come along. Great hunters, we welcome you once more to Lotha's Vath. What do you seek this day? We seek a man with whom we are told you may have had certain dealings. How curious! The hunters tire of godly sport and pursue mortal prey. No, he is not prey, but a friend long missing. Good. He is a friend of Vath as well, one with whom we have traded many times. Truly? Are you quite certain it was this man? There is no doubt. The fletchling clothes and skins came to us from Solmal last week. He offered meat and hides in trade. In exchange, we tended his wounds. He brought us much flesh, so skilled hunter he was. Much flesh! When he asked for garments, we were glad to provide them. And where is he now? Gone to Lotha's Goth, not long ago, when he heard the Omni-Mine had summoned their god once more. Ravana has returned. Benefort did say the Nath had grown as before, but what could Thancred hope to accomplish by himself? Honored Elder, we thank you for your help. Would that we could repay this kindness ere we depart, but we must hasten to our comrade's side. Go, great hunters! Let the Nath claim him as a sacrifice!
I couldn't even handle Ifrit.
I know.
Level 10.
So this quest right here is the Nath storyline quest, the Beast Tribe quest, and you can do it as Red Mage or any of your lower level classes, and it will sync. Every quest will be synced to your level. It stops becoming profitable at 60, and you can only do so many day. I think they're dailies, but there it is. The Vanu have something like that too. Yes. Yes.
No. Oh, I've already got that.
Oh, you have that one already?
Yeah.
Wait.
You're standing in the spot.
What? Got him. I aggroed everything. I danced and everything attacked me.
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
This is awkward.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever!
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not! So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea. It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them? Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light, for we are the warriors of darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
Warriors of Darkness? Really?
Same. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Thancred! Are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
Let's have our conversation. And then we need to probably call it.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Thancred.
If nothing else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the life stream in the Altogether. Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and hides. Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke?
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement. From them, I learned of Ravana, and of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
Yeah, that was me.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more.
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed warriors of darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the warrior of light, I suppose.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black. An Ascian, I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
Well, I hope we remember that we're all standing out here in this wilderness. But that is where I'm going to talk to everybody, and then that is where we will have to leave it. He knew us. He knew you. Did he walk in our memories as we walked in his? 'Twas seen the mystery of an axe-wielding hero has been laid to rest. I should have known better to think Thancred would ever stop using such an inelegant weapon. But then how was I to know there was not one vagabond wandering the Chocobo Forest, but two? I know what you're thinking, but really, you needn't worry. It will only lend credence to my tales of heroism. Besides, battle scars are to maidens what loose morals are to gentlemen. A definite bonus. And that is where we will have to call it for today. And we will continue. We will finish up patch 5.1 next week, and we will probably do... Oh, Hildebrand. I have to do a Hildebrand after patch 5.1. Will you be joining us on the Hildebrand tale? No. She will not. Q will not be joining us for Hildebrand. I imagine if Hildebrand is like the rest, Hildebrand will be the entire rest of that stream. And then Sunday we will start the 24-man raid storyline. And then 5.2. So that's very exciting. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I will be back. Oh, I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day off, right? Tomorrow's Monday? Yes. Yes. I will be off tomorrow, but I will be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. EST with more Phoenix. Sprightly. I will be back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. EST with more Phoenix Wright, and at 6 p.m. with more Nier Replicant. I need to do some insane amount of grinding in Nier Replicant. I did one day of it, and I was like, no more. so I have to go and grind out some stuff and figure out where all that stuff is. That will probably be my Monday, I imagine. So I hope you all have a lovely rest of the evening, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye. I will take it easy. Thank you, Sprayly. You too. Have a good, lovely day. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.